Hello, today I'm doing my video a different way round. I'm going to be showing you unboxing a Panasonic RQ-S25 which was not working but is now working, so it needed a bout change. I'm going to start with showing you unboxing of that particular model. Some other models that I've got in my possession at the moment that do need bouts doing on them are a RQ-SX72, so that's another Panasonic, and kind of a step up I would say, a RQ-S70 in that box. So I thought let's start with the S25. So this is from 1993 and comes in a nice box there, decent sized box. Some of the kind of later Walkmans used to come in quite small boxes actually, but this is quite nice, and I'll show you why it's as big as it is. So I've got a note in there to change the bout, so I've done that, and I will be adding that to the end of this video so you can see the process. So yeah, just basic instructions, guarantee, kind of warranty stuff. Okay, let's get to the crux of it. So yeah, it did come with a pouch, pretty tacky I would say, but anyway, to keep it from getting scratched on a journey. And this is the actual Walkman itself. So nice size, quite slim. I don't know why they kind of went for this sort of clasp here, because that does, when you look internally, it does kind of add a little bit of extra width to the player. So some of the slimline Walkmans I've got, you know, are less protruding, I would say. So this one, still very compact, but it's got that little bit more, yeah, sort of size to it, I guess. Let's show you the sharp. I mean, yeah, not much in it. I mean, the sharp is a little bit smaller, but nevertheless, a nice model. This one, it sounds infinitely better than the sharp at the moment. So yeah, really nice. Just have a look at what we've got, and it's just standard Dolby. So Dolby on and off. Always leave that off. We've got the play mode, so up to turn the tape over at the end of the side, or just stop. So that's that selector there. The volume there in the middle, and the headphones there. And then on this side, these controls here actually go through to the PCB board. So this is quite good because there's less, I suppose, strain maybe on the cable, because the cable doesn't have to be. I'll just show you. The cable, you only have one cable that actually goes from the PCB board to the head. Okay, so it's nice that it limits, I suppose, some wear, some potential wear, because a lot of Walkmans did have cables that went from the PCB into the lid, and obviously opening, close, they can wear over a long period of time, and I suppose we're going to see that more in the future as these devices, the ones that are still about, kind of last a bit longer. So it's just got a hold switch, so when you're on the move you can decide when you listen to it just to put it into hold, then you won't knock it. It's got a stop, reverse, forward, and the play auto reverse, and there's an indicator light there to show that you've got power. That's quite good actually, so that is quite effective, because when the battery does get a little bit low it doesn't light as bright, so that's good. And then here is the bass selector, so you can have it off or you can have it in the middle. So this is like the Panasonic extra kind of bass. I suppose it does remove a bit of detail, but it all depends on the headphones that you're using really. So I tended to always have my own kind of favourite headphones for these sort of things, and I knew I was getting a good quality sound out of them. And then it's got this other selector, which I don't know if it's because of the European market, or if just sort of generally making people aware, you know, to turn the level of the headphones down. So that's what that is. So if you're, again, maybe traveling and you're sat on a train or a bus, then potentially you could just slide it like that, rather than use the volume to bring the volume down. So on this side, there's room here to attach a battery pack, an AA standard battery, and it's got the old infamous I should say, Panasonic battery. So these are the flat gum sticks, and there was a bit of a lull where you couldn't get hold of new ones, but because they're still highly in demand for cassette players and mini disc players, there is a sort of market for those, so you can get hold of those new. Okay, so looking on this side, it just talks about the features, the shower lock. So yeah, again, it's just got something in there just to advertise this lock, and just gives you the basic here. So it's a very kind of basic player, and it's a nice size, perfect size really, a nice kind of finish to it. And yeah, I had to change about on this baby, and it was a little bit of fun, but I got there. And please stay on to see the rest of the video, to witness that effort. So it's got a twin rotor motor, and you can kind of see that in the later part of the video when I take this apart. That's quite interesting, and you can see it's got the playback head there with the 2 capstans, and very little wear, I would say, on those. So it's in pretty good condition, and it's probably okay for possibly another 20 years, he says, hoping the boat could last another 20 years. I mean, it'll see me through probably, so that's good. All right, let's have a look. We've got this kind of battery pack here, and if I get it the right way around, you can see just installed a battery like that. So I will put this in because I think the gum stick's a little bit low on this, so let's just lock that into position. So it does add a bit of you know, unnecessary bulk, I suppose, if you're able to charge your gum stick battery quite frequently, but when you're again on the move, it's good to have that option. And that's the hefty charger for the gum stick. Actually, this battery here is probably the original battery that came with it. I tend to collect these things. I've got quite a few batteries knocking about. So we've got some accessories in here, and I'm hoping it's the remote and headphones. Okay, so it's all attached. There's one here, and I think this might have been one of the early ones that had the remote built into the headphones. I mean, the headphones are okay, they're not bad, but again, I would kind of source my own. This works quite nicely. It's I have used this actually on a different model, but depending on the length of time that you hold this button in, it alters what the cassette's doing. And there's even like a little LED light in there, and there's a hold switch and a volume as well, so it kind of overrides what's happening on the player, but I believe you need to have this set up as you want it, and then if you want to turn the volume down, then you can kind of turn it from its high setting down, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so that's the player in a nutshell. Okay, so it's recognised the cassette, so that's good, and let's play. There you go, you can hear it. It's quite silent. Let's change the side. And then if we want to forward, there we go. Maybe I can just wipe the volume down actually. There you go. And play it from here. So that's the play. A long pull, well, a long press should now give it auto reverse. Now you can hear it change. Stopped it. Okay, so skip reverse is can you see the light there? So there's the skip reverse. So it should find a break in the program. So that seems to work pretty well. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me briefly. Stay on now to see how the bout change goes. It's just 5 screws to start taking this apart. And we have to leverage it from the bottom. Okay, so you do have to take the little sliding door off where the battery is to get that apart. We have inside what looks quite nice actually. So I'm aware there will be some desoldering possibly to get to this bout. Actually, let's see, is the bout in place? It looks like it's missing on that side, so it's obviously gone bad over time. So it looks like this bit up here might need to be desoldered. Maybe some other points. So there is a screw there, another one there. Okay, I think the first thing to do is take the screws out and just give it a little wiggle and see where the kind of tension is. There's a little bit of give this side. I've had closer inspection. This will stay in place, I think. It's here that it's soldered in, and this will need desoldering and then resoldering afterwards once the new belt's been fitted. So I'm going to use a proper desoldering kind of pump to suck that solder up, and then I can obviously put more solder back down again afterwards. This desoldering tool will let you suck out the solder. So you have to push the plunger in and then put the end on the area where the solder is, and then just keep doing it until you've removed enough to basically remove the board. Looking at this, once these have been desoldered, I'll be able to kind of lift the PCB that way, because this is going to the head, and the controls actually for the mechanism are these buttons here. It's part of this board PCB. So yeah, I will have to just kind of be careful to lean it towards me to get in there and put the new belt on. Now, I've left the belt as is at the moment. I could have pulled it through from here, but I just want to make sure I'm going to be at least doing the same path of travel. Looks like there's at least a couple more here to remove on this side, as far as I can tell. I've swapped over to using the soldering iron now, just to kind of tidy up these bits to enable me to take this board out. I've got my new belt on, and I've managed to get this little bit of plastic and the black bit of plastic in, so I think that's okay. So basically this is the S25, and the points you need to desolder are where my finger are. So there's 5 along there, there's 1 along there, there's another one, and another one. And ideally you probably should just desolder this thing, the cassette detection. So I didn't do it, I was able to take it apart, but I did have a go at the headphone sockets in case there was one of these was an anchor point to the chassis, but it wasn't, so that's okay. What I'll do is I'll get some solder on this now. A little bit tricky to get the belt on the motor, so you do have to take this out, and it does kind of pop out once you've taken the PCB board out. You can kind of thread it through, so it's not too bad once you've done that. And obviously the way I've done it, I've not had to take this ribbon cable off here.